Okay, here we start. So welcome everyone for the topic on the retrospective, how to spruce up your retrospective, how to make it more interesting, which will deliver value to you and your organization. So let me start with a quote from Sarvapalli Radhakrishnan. Very nice one. When we think we know, we cease to learn. And I see people who have joined today, right? They know that they don't know everything. That's why they have joined. One of the reason, certainly some of them would know many more things. The collective wisdom with what all of you, the participants, possess is much more than what I have. Right? So that's wonderful. We cease to learn. So for early joiners, I would like to share one tip, whether you can would like to apply for your personal life as well as professional life, but this would work like wonder. So what it is? It's about learning, applying, and reviewing. You learn something new, then you review, then you apply in your field, and then you review what is working well, what is not working, and again go back to learning. So this is the first step, right? We are learning something new together. And the first step has to be, when we think we know, we cease to learn. So we have to make sure that we still have a lot to learn and have to improve. That's the way to go. And if we can digest that on Teachers Day, that would be bonus, right? So a bit of introduction for myself. I'm Rahul Shah. Naam to suna hi hoga. I have 20 plus years of experience and 10 plus in the Agile. I have worked in different domains. My skills, Agile transformation, coaching, training. I'm also a speaker at various conferences, doing webinars and other stuff. Due to COVID, though I'm a Scrum Master, I have a new master at my home since the work from home has started. Though I am an Agile coach, but I am being coached by my wife since the lockdown has started. So that's are just a couple of new entries I have. I'm a good human being, getting better at it. And when I say I'm a good human being, so let me very much clarify that I'm a God-loving mentality person. So I try to be a good in the eyes of Creator. I like chess, solving puzzles, and Sanskrit. Yeah, I like to memorize verses, Sanskrit verses, and I know or I have memorized around 1,000 verses. So that's a bit from my side. Certainly, when we do some trainings together, I certainly would like to know your interest, your hobbies as well. But that we will keep it later time. Okay, very quickly, I want you to go to menti.com and enter the code 9977227. There are two questions. So let me ping the URL as well in the chat window. So you can directly click on the link and then it will open the questions. Let me share the screen as well.
Can you please share the code, Rahul?
Yeah, I have already shared the link in the chat window. I will again share the code as well.
It's common chat window.
Yeah. So here is the first question. Are you able to see the questions?
Yes.
Yes, Rahul.
Yeah. I see a couple of you have already entered. What is the top challenge for you while conducting retrospective or you being part of the retrospective?
Hi, Rahul. Nimish is saying he needs a code.
The code is 99 is on the top. You can see 9977227. Okay. Finalizing action items, getting the transparent answers from the team. Involvement of the team, right? People don't talk. They rather prefer to be mute. Yeah, it shouldn't be a monotonous stuff, right? You have to make it interesting. If you just talk, no action items, not going to solve any
Rahul,
purpose.
I'm not able to get second question.
You're not able to get the second question, is it?
Second question, yeah. I have answered first question.
No,
Me too.
I think, no, let's go with this question only. Fine. Okay, blame game might be happening. Opening people up and being transparent. Team is involvement. One more minute and then we'll stop. Just wanted to make sure that what I'm going to talk about is related to what the problems you are facing. So good. It's in line with what you are facing right now. Okay, then we'll stop here and then again we'll move back to our questions, our presentation. Thank you for providing the good insight on what all questions, what all problems you are facing. Okay. So this session is for everyone, whether you are familiar with Agile or not, this certainly would work for you because the structure, the retrospective structure can be implemented for your personal life as well or non-IT industries as well. So let's look at the agenda. Why, what and how of retrospective. Then we are going to talk about top 3 reasons why retrospective doesn't deliver, right? The problems, whatever we are facing, right? I have identified 3 reasons which is causing retrospective to become monotonous or which doesn't deliver any value. And what can be done to spruce up your retrospective? So we'll talk about that as well. And then I plan to do one interesting activity. For that activity, what you need to do is you decide or you just pay attention to the presentation and identify one action item which you are going to implement from next week onwards or from your next retrospective. And certainly we'll take up the discussions, question answers for that. So let me tell you one story on retrospective. Esther Derby, you might have heard, right? She has written a very good book on the retrospective, Agile retrospective, making teams good from great, right? So she was consulted and she had to go to an organization where there were Scrum teams which were not delivering any value. They were not getting the benefit for which the Scrum team was formed. The Agile was adopted. And when she went there, she started her assessment. And she asked the stakeholders, the Scrum Masters, can I see the retrospective data? And Scrum Master responded, we don't do retrospective. Why? Because we have so many problems, we don't get time to do retrospective. If we focus on retrospective, we will have a list of problems piling up. So we are not doing. And then she responded, you have so many problems because you are not doing retrospective, right? It's a famous cartoon. I love this very much. Too busy for improvements and not going to get value. We have to provide some value, right? We have to do it regularly. Then we will be able to solve the problems. But if we are not doing inspect and adapt, probably we are not going to get any value out of it. So why retrospective? Let's look at one of the Agile principles, right? Which says at regular intervals, the team reflects on how to become more effective then tunes and adjusts its behavior accordingly. See the words which are highlighted here. At regular intervals. If you are doing a retrospective, which is at the end of the project, the learnings which you are going to get, you won't be able to implement it, right? So do it regularly so that you can implement and get the benefits. The team reflects. The team, both the team itself is also a very important word. Everybody participates, right? Reflects on how to become more effective. Then tunes and adjusts its behavior accordingly. So they identify, right, how to become more effective. At the same time, they might have come up with the action items. They should come up with the action items and implement them. And that will change the behavior, right? Just discussion won't. So this principle not only talks about what you should do, but it talks about once you complete the retrospective, what are the next steps you should be doing before you do your next retrospective. Let's look at Scrum Guide, what it says, why the retrospective is needed. The purpose of the sprint retrospective is to inspect how the last sprint went with regards to people, relationships, process, and tools. If you are not doing retrospective regularly, then if you want to summarize for 1 month, 2 months of time period that what happened, is very difficult. Even for our personal appraisal, right? It becomes very difficult what we did in last 3 months or before last 3 months, last 6 months. Then how you are going to know what happened in last 1 month or 2 months? So it has to happen regularly. Identify and order the major items that went well and potential improvements. So talk about positivity. See the focus here. This is directly from the Scrum Guide. What are the major items that went well? And what is the purpose of highlighting them again? Because we want to continue. There is a sense of appreciation as well here. See, if team is doing good, right? Then someone should appreciate. If managers are not doing their job, probably the team should be doing. I have one interesting story to tell about the appreciation. And then figure out the potential improvements as well. Right? If you look at from this perspective, we are not talking about what went wrong. What we are saying is what went well and what can be done better. Right? That's the 2 points. So think that is also one of the way to conduct the retrospective. And create a plan for implementing improvements to the way Scrum team does its work. Right? So Scrum team works on the sprint backlog. So even the improvement action item should be part of sprint backlog. Then only probably the improvements will be there, right? So we have to read between the lines, and probably we will get why our retrospectives are not effective and what we can do to make it more effective. So what is retrospective? What the Scrum Guide says. The focus again on the here is on the Scrum Masters. The Scrum Master encourages the Scrum team to improve its development process and practices to make it more effective and enjoyable for the next sprint. These are the words from the Scrum Guide itself. Now, I have highlighted 2 words right here, effective and enjoyable. Would like to spend a couple of minutes here. See, there is a difference between effectiveness and efficient. The management looks about the efficient, that is the utilization period. They want to focus on the utilization. Everybody should be utilized. That is the focus. But here what we are talking about is effectiveness. So it's about doing things right, right? Or doing right things. There's a difference between 2. One is effective and another is efficient. Doing right things is very critical. So effective and efficient, let me give another example. Effective is being agile and efficient is doing agile. Are you doing? Yeah, if you just purpose is to tick mark, we are doing the ceremonies or sprint meeting event, then you will get the score. But that is not effective. And enjoyable, that's a wonderful word. Why? We talk about the productivity improvements and other stuff, right? A simple answer. If the team is happy, they have fun, they find the work enjoyable, the productivity will automatically improve. Even the quality of work will be much more better. So we need to very much focus on these aspects as well that we can achieve through retrospective. And then at the end of the sprint retrospective, the Scrum team should have identified improvements that will implement in the next sprint. Not the Scrum Master, not the manager should have identified the improvements. Scrum Master will facilitate, but the team will identify the improvements. And once they identify the improvements, probably they will implement because it is identified by them. It is not someone has said, okay, you have to do this one, but they have said, okay, we will do this one. So there are more chances that that will be implemented. And this is a formal opportunity like other Scrum ceremonies as well, Scrum events as well. Is the inspection and adapt. That is the opportunity we get. So why not? Why we should be missing it? So how to do it? We know about this one, right? It's the time box. Scrum Master teaches all to keep it within the time box. What is the duration? It depends. Say for a 1 month sprint duration, maybe around 3 hours. But I again would say that go inspect and adapt in this one as well. You shouldn't be doing it very quick and you shouldn't be taking too much time that people don't come up for the retrospective. Right? Sprint retrospective occurs after the sprint review and prior to the next sprint planning. This is a wonderful point. Why? Many times we miss the retrospective because we have too much of work to do, probably for the sprint review, a demo we would like to show, right? But once you do the sprint review and then if you do the sprint retrospective, probably it will happen all the time. And this is Scrum Master's responsibility that the event takes place and that attendance understand its purpose. That's very critical. There are two, I remember there are two books. One is Daniel Pink, who has written The Drive, right? He talks about 3: autonomy, mastery, and purpose. So your purpose is very important. What is the purpose of retrospective? That we must know.
Rahul,
And, yeah.
sorry to interrupt. Can you please type those book names, whichever you mentioned in the chat, like whatever book name you
Yeah,
told,
sure.
right? You told about 3 book names, right?
Yeah, Daniel Pink, he has written a book, The Drive. And in that book, he talks about 3 things: autonomy, mastery, and purpose. So that is one book. And another one is Patrick Lencioni. He has written a book, 3 Signs of a Miserable Job. There he also has mentioned anonymity, irrelevance, and immeasurement. If the relevance is not there, why we are doing this one? With people won't be interested in doing this one. So purpose has to be there. Right? So let's look at the top 3 reasons why retrospective doesn't deliver. And if you look at it, retrospectives are time waste. Retrospectives are time waste unless you fix these 3 reasons. Obviously, I fully support retrospective, even personal retrospective as well. So why the retrospective doesn't deliver? The first reason is purpose and importance is missing. Just now we see, right? So, right? The purpose is not there. People won't be able to relate to it. When this happens, right? People find that, okay, it's a time waster. And then many times you will see that most of the team members have urgent work during the retrospective time, or they have doctor's appointment. Those are some of the symptoms, right? They are not finding any value in this one. They probably would like to do some other work or take rest, but not join retrospective. So if we fix this one, right? For that, we have to make sure everybody understands its purpose and why it is important. We'll talk more about all 3 points. The second one is value is not there. If you are not delivering any value, then even management is not happy that people will be spending time on it because they are not getting any value out of it. If the code quality is not improved, if the commitment to what they have committed is not improved, probably management will say there are so many things you should be doing it. Why focus on the retrospective? Because the value is not delivered, not to the team, not to the management, not to the organization. Then why management would sponsor that time, right? It's actually an investment. And as we discussed, it's not effective. See, when the team talks about effectiveness, in the sense that if we are doing certain things, we are doing these ceremonies, that is perfectly fine. But if there is no value for management or customer or stakeholders in that one, so if value is not there, probably retrospective won't deliver. We'll look at the different aspects of what we can do so that we can deliver value. What are the patterns we have to follow? What are the practices we can follow so that we get value out of it? And third one, right, the way it is conducted, stereotype. And this is one of the reason people don't speak up. People don't turn up. People just like to be muted. Yeah, some of the points like why people don't talk. There are other reasons as well. We'll talk about this as well. Now, uh, in a way, the retrospectives are boring, right? Now, the work from home is there. What we do, we just say switch off the video, and then nobody knows, right? Whether we are participating in the retrospective or not participating. So if you are doing retrospective, right, specifically tell them that I want your video on. That certainly would change the environment. You just try this out. But unless you have solved some of the other problems, probably that won't happen. But at least you can start with couple of points. So let me talk about Team Sky, British cycling team. I did share in one of the earlier webinars, but I like this very much, so I'm sharing it again. So Team Sky is the British cycling team, and let me share a couple of their achievements. So till 2007, they had one gold medal at Olympics. Hello? Yeah, they had one gold medal at Olympic. And for the Tour de France, one of the most prestigious cycling event, they had no winner. And the Tour de France was started in 1903. That means more than 100 years, and there was no winner. And then in 2003, they hired a new director. The director was Dave Braceford. And you see the change. From 2007 to 2017, they won. The British cycling team won 66 gold medal at Olympic and Paralympic Games. And then they captured 5 trophies between 2012 and 2017 for the Tour de France. And they also won 178 world championships. That's amazing, right? What did they do? So Dave Braceford, what he says is, in today's world, ruthless improvement is required. There is no other option. But one of the challenge what we face is there is nothing to improve. So what we can do? We already have identified all the points, and then team is doing wonderfully well. So we probably don't need anything else to be done. The British cycling team, if you imagine, they have all the technology, all the resources, everything. Probably they would have tried out everything, right? At one time, half of the world was under British rule. But then why they didn't won any Tour de France title and other stuff? So now Dave Braceford focus on 1% improvement. He said marginal gains. Focus on one area. You might not be able to get a 10% improvement idea, but at least 1% improvement idea. And if you have 20 such ideas, you can do wonders. And that's what he did. That's what he implemented. And you see the drastic change. And he says, yeah, ruthless improvement is required. So if you focus on that, okay, we certainly can do better. That's the mentality we should be having. And identify a topic. I call it focus retrospective. So you focus on one item. If there are no breakthrough items available to you, then figure out what minor items, marginal items you can pick it up. And then the marginal gains would blow off. That would do the trick for you. So let's look at what ideas we can implement to spruce up our retrospective. So purpose and importance. Right? So Scrum Master is the key for this one. He should walk the talk. He should show the way it should be implemented. He should be actually kind of a supporter of all the Scrum events, even the retrospective as well. You should make sure that the proper preparations are done before the retrospective is conducted. If you, without preparation, if Scrum Master goes and then he expects that the retrospective should deliver value, probably that won't happen. You need to make sure the why is very clear. There will be few people who are not at all interested. When a new joiners come, right? The person might or might not know about Agile, Scrum and other aspects. So what normally the people who are not interested in the sprint retrospective, they will take him, her for the lunch and tell them it's a waste of time. There is no point talking in retrospective. There are no action items being followed and you are done. So the Scrum Master as well need to make sure that if a new team members are joining, they are aware of why it has to be done. The why has to be very, very clear, right? If you have a bigger why, any what is possible. The why has to be very clearly identifiable and should be communicated. It's kind of a vision, right? If that is done, then fine. The purpose and importance, the next action items you can do is probably send a recurring invite. Yeah, that means we really want this to happen. And as a Scrum Master, I will make sure that this happens at the time what we have identified. Probably you will do when the team is bit free, when the sprint review is done and then team is available and you have shared why we are doing this one. Probably that certainly would make a big difference. And make sure it happens, right? But do it before sprint planning. That's the key. Also, we have to look at the return on time invested. Everybody, say you have 8 team members and you are doing a retrospective for 1 hour. So that means you are spending 480 minutes, right, in the retrospective. Now in the retrospective, if you just do discussions, but nothing concrete comes out, right? What is the return of 480 minutes? It's zero, nothing. Okay, probably you have come up with the action items and other stuff. But those action items and other items should deliver more than 480 minutes, right? Of productivity or saving of time and other stuff. Then only probably it is worth doing the retrospective. Otherwise, it doesn't make sense. So return on time invested is the key. Team working agreement. So if people are not doing it together and other stuff, or even people are not speaking up, right? We should have a team charter kind of stuff, a team working agreement. You might be knowing, but very briefly, let me tell you that the ways of working for the team, that all the meetings will start on time, end on time.
Hey, Mama.
When one person is speaking, others will listen to him. And then once that person is completes his, no, in a short, no one will interrupt when one person is speaking. Let him her complete and then go to the next one. And everyone is responsible. This is very important. You should underline this one. If team working agreements are not followed, it's not only the Scrum Master's responsibility, but every team member's responsibility to make sure they adhere to the team working agreement. And if the blame game is not there, if you clearly highlight the purpose of retrospective is not finger pointing or blame game, but improving the process, working as a team, that certainly would do wonder for you. Let's look at the second one. The value is not delivered, right? Even the management is not interested, and then management says why you are doing this one, or people skipping the retrospective, or even people not talking in the retrospective, right? So what can be done? So normally I start the retrospective with the previous sprint action items. Why? If that one is done, we are looking at it, that what we had decided. So what we had decided, in the sense the team had decided, we are really giving importance to that. That means we are valuing their suggestions and whatever the action items which was identified. And then we are showing the current status, that where it stands. So it just tells you, it just propels everyone that, okay, whatever time we had spent in the last retrospective is meaningful. So let's contribute this time as well. Maybe we will get something meaningful out. Yeah. Now, when one of the anti-pattern which I have seen while talking about the previous sprint action item is Scrum Master will go through the list of action items and they say, oh, this is done, this is done. Yeah, we are following this one. No, no, that's completely anti-pattern. What you should do is ask team members whether are you ready? Do you think that these action items are closed now? We are able to achieve them? If yes, then only close the action items. Otherwise, those action items are not closed. We really have to work on it. Many times I have seen that Scrum Master justifies, okay, this one is done, this one is done. Something like they would like to do that, okay, as a Scrum Master, my responsibility was to close all the action items and I have not closed. How it will look? But if you do that, the team members probably won't participate much. Next item, if you want to deliver value, then don't just do the discussions, but look at the solutions as well, right? Devote the time accordingly. If you have a 1 hour retrospective, you cannot discuss for 45-50 minutes. No, because if you start discussing, there may be n number of items, but then we have to figure it out what we should be doing it. We should be focusing on discussion, identify the high points, valuable points, and then figure out, brainstorm, figure out the solutions and pick up the best solutions which we can implement. And then when we talk about the identify action items, sometimes they say, okay, what needs to be changed, and then put everything, each and every item, they put it as an action items. No, probably that won't work. A practical scenario, you shouldn't be picking up more than 2 action items, because this is not the only thing you will be doing. This is the another extra things which you will be doing apart from your sprint backlog. So if you have picked up too many action items, not going to work. Always consider ROTI, return on time invested. Next one is, I like this as well very much. Action items should be in the user story format. So when you say user story format, what we want to do, why we want to do, probably who will be doing that one. That is also very critical, right? Even user story probably will always will have acceptance criteria as well, right? How we will know that this is done? So that is probably for each action items. If you define your action items in user story format, everything is very crystal clear. What I have seen sometimes, that people, the team members, after writing it in detail, probably they said, no, probably we won't be able to do this. We probably will have to break. We won't be able to complete the action item in the next sprint, maybe part of it. Why? Because it is written in the user story format. So everything is very clear. Prioritize and take them to closer. If you are not doing this one, then when you, as a Scrum Master, you start with the previous sprint action items, probably you won't get anything. Right? How do you deliver value? So take definition of done to next level. Probably your team might say that, okay, we do not have anything to improve, but look at your definition of done. Can you improve this one? You might have a sonar cube or check marks and other stuff where you say, okay, or unit test cases, at least 80%, at least 70% of them should be done, or no blockers, no criticals, or less than 5 blockers, or less, no blockers and less than 5 critical. Take your definition done to next level, whether we can do 0 blockers, 0 critical items, can be done, doable. Look at all aspects and then take the definition of done to the next level. Normally you say critical, high and critical defect should be fixed. But what about major and minor? Change your definition of done. Say even the minor defects also we will fix. That's the value delivered to organization and to customers. If you really want to people to speak up, don't invite managers, and sometimes lead as well. I remember I was in a service industry. Service industry, normally what I have seen, have very less experience in the service industry, but they will have a lead as well. And that day we had a retrospective and lead was not there. And then people were like, had so many points to say. And then most of them was about I versus we. It's kind of a me versus we attitude which lead had. So you really have to figure it out whether you want to invite managers or lead. Let team decide on this one. Maybe as a scrum master, you talk to individual and then figure it out whether they are, why they are not opening up. See, if they are not opening up in the retrospective, that means there are some reasons, and those reasons they won't be sharing in the retrospective. Probably you have to take them to a coffee or do a now a virtual meeting and then figure it out. What are their reasons why they are not speaking up in the retrospective? Sometimes there are some points, sensitive points, which they do not want to highlight, right? So as a scrum master, talk to them before the retrospective, go get those points and present it to the team. Let team brainstorm and figure it out what can be done, right? So another way to provide value is to focus on circle of control. So there are actually 3 circles, right? If we draw it, so there is the inner circle, then the outer circle, and then the outermost circle. The first circle is the circle of control. The second one is about circle of influence, and then the circle of concern. So the action items which the team identifies and then Scrum Master helps, it should be within the circle of control. What the team can do. It shouldn't be for the managers. My manager should do this one, or the company should do XYZ. You can forward it to them, but whether that will be done or not, we don't know. So what we should be focusing on is focus on the circle of control. The action items which are highlighted or identified, the team should be able to do on their own. That only it will make sense. Otherwise it won't. So value delivery, if the value is delivered, right, you can implement one or many ideas which I have presented here. If you start showing that the retrospective is delivering value, people will love it. How to make it interesting? So we talked about it. It should be enjoyable, right? It should be fun, happy, and other stuff. I remember I was part of one of the Scrum team, and then we had to do the first retrospective. The team was there. They were working together for a very long time. And then on that day, the retrospective, it was first for them. And what I had noticed that though the team is working for a very long time, the gelling was not there. If the gelling is not there, people don't know each other. They just focus on the work item, like the Patrick Lencioni say anonymity, the first sign of a miserable job, that people don't know each other. Probably this will happen. So what I did on that day, I took some chocolates. The chocolates, the perk, 10 rupee perk, and the chocolates do wonder. That's what I have seen. So what I did was I said that let's appreciate the work each other, the other team members are doing. So I said, let's start appreciating each other, and it should be meaningful. Just thank you won't work. You have to say, I appreciate XYZ, because you have to show the behavior. And then you can say, yeah, which helped me XYZ. That also can be done. But the behavior has to be highlighted and the impact which it caused. So I said that if you appreciate another person, the person who appreciate will get the chocolate, not the person for which you have written the appreciation note. And we had real fun. Everybody was very happy. I remember that it took much more time. We had initially crafted for only 30 minutes. It took much more time. I had to leave out, but that the team continued there. But I think that created the team bonding. And the second retrospective, you would say, should we do the same stuff? No. But I still brought chocolates there. At the end of the retrospective, I gave them. But what it did was, it made them interesting. Okay, we are talking about other stuff as well. Then for the appreciation, the team said that, okay, we will do something different. We will write kudo card, the thank you note, and we'll paste it on the board which is visible to everyone. So that was some good experience which I wanted to share with you. How do you make it interesting? Try different formats. So many things are available on the net right now. Different places, probably that won't happen right now. But I remember that we were working, I was in the BMC software, and at that time we had some people from vendor as well. And then they also were located in Pune. We were in BMC software, and they were in the Baner. So what we decided after for the retrospective, we will come together. One time they will come to BMC software, another time we will go to their office, and then we do retrospective and we'll go for the lunch together. That also worked well. You probably might be thinking that we don't get that much of time, right? How do you get a time to have a lunch together on the last day of the sprint? Yeah, you also have to follow the agile principles, sustainable pace. If you want to do a sustainable pace, probably you will be able to get the time. Otherwise, no. The next format you can try out is one word retrospective. So just ask people, describe the last sprint in one word. So if we do not have enough time, right? Just ask them that how was the last retrospective? I still remember in one of the retrospective, one of the team members say, yeah, it was like a roller coaster. Okay, everybody laughed. Yeah, but that was the truth, right? If you have more time, then you can talk about how do you want your next sprint to be. The last sprint was not good, fun, yeah, happy, satisfaction, whatever. The next sprint, how you want it to be. So that could be a one word retrospective if time is not enough. And here it's very simple, right? If even the people who doesn't want to talk much, they can even say the one word that would do wonder for them. Then another one is a review retrospective. And normally we buy any product from online e-commerce, right? We provide a review, or we download some app and then we provide a review. We go out on a tour and then we provide a review or a place, right? So do a review retrospective. Write a review about how the last sprint went. That's a very short, but people understand, right? If you go with the same monotonous what worked well or stop, start, continue, probably that won't work. Always time box is the next step, next suggestion I would give. Why time box? Because you want to see them coming in the next retrospective, right? So that's why you time box it. You have to plan it properly. The first retrospective, if you have not doing it, time it. If it's going to take 45 minutes, that's what how you have planned it. Send the invite for 1 hour and say that okay, if time if required only, then we will go beyond 45 minutes. Next one would be the fun element is missing, like I talked about the appreciation or going at different places. Sometimes you can play games as well, right? Improv games, those are available. So short games, if you play for 5 to 10 minutes, that also would change the complete atmosphere. And the last one I would say is focus retrospective, because if there are so many issues, so many issues at different places, right? Probably what you can do is pick up a topic which was the highlight of the sprint. If there are too many defects, right, you highlight, okay, let's focus on the focus retrospective with the goal is how do we reduce the number of defects, or the requirements are changing too frequently for a particular sprint, the requirement are keep changing, then probably you should do a focus retrospective on why the requirements are changing. That also can be done. So if you follow these three things, right, purpose and importance, look for ways to provide value and make it interesting, probably you will see a different retrospective in your organization, in your team. Now a disclaimer kind of stuff, right? There is no guarantee that you will get success if you don't do anything, but you will fail 100% of time if you do not take any action. So if there are no actions taken, are not going to get success. There is no probability of success, right? So we should be taking some actions. Now let's look at the power of tiny gains. If you are 1% better every day, so in 365 days, you will be 38% better. But if you are 1% worse every day, then probably you will come to zero, standstill. That's very important. So that ends my presentation. So I wanted to do one fun activity, right? So what we can do is about at the end of the retrospective, we can do blessings. Bless the retrospect, bless the next sprint, right? So what we can do is, so for you, each of you as well, like how the next retrospective should look like for you. How the next retrospective look like for you. So what I want you to do is pick up one action items which you think that you will implement in your next retrospective and bless the next sprint. Let me start. Are you clear on this one, the activity? Like, let me start. So next retrospective, everybody will come on time, and the retrospective will end on time. That's how I will go. Who would like to go next?
Yeah, this way. So maybe we can have a retrospective like outside office to make it more fun, like team lunch or some fun place.
Okay. How do you want to blaze the retrospective?
I wanted to, I mean, let everybody speak in the retrospective.
Wonderful. Who would like to go next?
I like that idea of chocolates when you said that chocolates make wonder. So I really like that idea. And whenever we are out of this pandemic, for sure, I'm going to implement this one.
Wonderful. So in all our retrospective, we get chocolates. That's the bless you want to give. Wonderful.
Yeah.
Who else?
Yeah, appreciate each other. That's the good point.
Yeah. So you say you have to bless. May your next retrospective, everybody appreciates each other and they get chocolates.
Rahul, I want like managers to be out of the retro session so that people, people get like they are free to speak their mind. So that would work in my case.
Yes, certainly. I remember I have read, I have not experienced, but whenever the retrospective is happening, the manager was not invited, but he will figure it out that where are my team members, and then he will join the retrospective.
Exactly.
So actually Scrum Master had planned that, okay, we want to do a hidden retrospective. Hidden in the sense, the manager should not know where we are. So hopefully I bless that you should not have that kind of situation in your retrospective.
Yeah, that's the reason if you see people will talk 100 things outside the meeting, but when they come to the meeting, nobody will talk.
Exactly. So even I bless that your retrospective, there is a discussions as well as solutions as well. I bless that your retrospectives will have more positivity than the negative comments. Who else would like to bless?
I just want to add in my next retrospective, all the points which are raised in today's retrospective should be resolved.
Okay, that is a very ambitious goal. We have to start with at least couple of points which can be implemented very quickly. That would wonder. So even I would suggest for everyone that you prioritize which point will give you more value and then focus on them only. And then you have to convince your team members as well to experiment. So how do you convince? Normally I say, okay, if they are not ready, I say, can we try out for one sprint? If it doesn't work, we'll move out. If it is working well, if there are some shortcomings, we'll fix them. But when you say experiment, people will be ready to implement. If you say, okay, from this next retrospective onwards, we are going to change, probably they will say, no, it might not work. Okay, one last blaze and then we'll open up for Q&A.
So
Uh,
I guess, hello, should
Yeah,
I?
go ahead. Go ahead.
Yeah,
Jiten.
Scrum Master should capture all the points as is instead of manipulating them to look good to the management.
Very well said, Jitendra. Someone else also was there.
Yes, I am John here. I bless the team to go for a one word about the retrospective, or one word about the sprint.
Okay.
Also, I bless that like my next time onwards, like I and we as a team, okay, see that we don't go into stereotyping. Okay, because that is something. So I have been running through. I till now, like I have this pattern of running through the meeting. But then, I mean, I learned a very good point of like how to avoid boring and stereotyping meeting. So I'll wish that I can do that from
Yeah,
next
and
time
bless
onwards.
for everyone's. Everyone's meeting will be much more fun, interesting, and the Scrum Master
Absolutely,
applying new ideas in each retrospective. Wonderful.
absolutely. Yeah.
There is a
So
very good
sometimes,
website called retromat.com. Let me put it on this.
Yeah.
Hello.
If you can put it on chat.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Somebody would like to say something. Yeah, go ahead.
Yes, Rahul, can you hear me?
Yeah.
One of my teams, we implemented an idea that this was when before pandemic. During retrospective, we come out with certain points, and whoever idea or whoever point is going to be implemented in the next sprint. So we just select two items that will be implemented in the next sprint. Whoever those people are will not pay, but rest of the people pay. What means every retrospective, the moment it happens, everybody goes to canteen, and we have a very lavish snacks winning. Those people whose ideas are selected do not pay. Rest of the people pay. So it's a contribution kind of. So, and
Wow.
now what people started filling in, retrospective is not retrospective, but snacks. So they
Yeah, that's a good idea.
Yeah, Vijay.
That's a very good idea.
Yeah, that's the similar thing I was telling you. I had similar experience with my whole team,
yeah,
where it is not an official thing. They'll take to team out to team lunch or something. Completely fun activity. Will talk seriously, but in a fun way. You will not think it will not be in any format or anything. But end of the thing, okay, team will say, okay, this is the area we have to improve. So it will indirect kind of retrospective.
Yeah, and what we also did is once manager started coming in, so we said whenever manager comes in, we'll say that you have to pay.
Okay.
Stop coming. Yeah.
yeah. So I would
Okay,
like to
great
add,
ideas.
sometime for the retrospective meeting, people have not kind of excitement or not kind of enthusiasm. They say that okay, it's a boring meeting, or it is kind of the blame game. So maybe I would like to first change the attitude for the retrospective meetings. Means they should have like positive, and at least they should feel that okay, after attending this meeting, we will get out of that meeting.
Yeah.
Preparations are the key actually, right? And then start delivering some value, right? So that certainly would change the mindset. So it won't happen in a flash, right? It will take some time. So as a Scrum Master, lots of responsibility. I have shared the link for feedback as well. We can discuss any questions you have. We still have 4 or 5 minutes. Or how many minutes we have?
If you do not have any questions, or people who are there who wants any topic that importance to you, you can also put in chat that this topic would like to have as a Saturday evening session.